Salt begins with our heroine, Evelyn Salt, Angelina Jolie, being beaten up in a North Korean jail 2 years ago for alleged spying. Eventually the US government rescue her. Well, if they didn't, then the film would end after about 5 minutes. Cue some chat back at CIA HQ, or Rink Petroleum as it's called on the outside, so the great unwashed don't twig the fact that the agents are amongst them. As she is about to leave work to catch a plane, she is asked to help to crack a particularly difficult case, and if anyone can do it, Salt can. She's introduced to a Russian spy dying from cancer, Vasily Orlov, who tells Salt a story, one that involves a baby born to a male wrestler and female chess champion who was sneaked out of a Russian hospital in the mid-70s, telling the parents he had died. Meanwhile, although Lee Harvey Oswald emigrated to Russia in 1959, it wasn't him who returned to kill JFK. It was a spy called Alec. Thus began the programme to breed a race of spies who would go on to replace American citizens. When he concludes his story, he states that the latest product is someone who has been placed in New York to kill the Russian president at the funeral of the American vice president. The name of this spy? Evelyn Salt. Oh, and her superiors are in the listening room, and they heard every word of this. Doh! Thus begins a chase movie. Is she innocent? Is she a spy? Is she really about to kill the Russian president? What's all this about replacing American citizens? Confused? You won't be until after this week's episode of Soap. Oh, sorry, hang on. Salt is all rather daft stuff, but there are a great number of brief, cool action sequences, so it's definitely worth a watch. It also features lots of twists and turns, all of which are effectively handled. For me, this could have been a buy it, but it's just too bitty, and the ending felt like it had been rushed and wasn't at all satisfying. Oh, and oddly the film is set in 2011. I wonder why they went for the very near future. It made no difference to the plot. The DVD and Blu-ray contain 3 versions of Salt, and I have to ask, why have 3 versions on here when they're not much different in length? I didn't go back and watch them in full, but when playing a couple of key scenes back on both of the shorter versions, you can see that some of the differences are alternate takes and not just extra scenes. The longer versions are also rated 15 rather than 12 due to extra violence. The extra few minutes of scenes in the director's cut were worthy of inclusion, so I recommend you watch that version. There's also a good 2 hours of extras here, plus the audio commentary, so if you love this film, then it's a buy it. For everyone else, it's a rent it.